Okay, recently I have been thinking a lot about my dad. It's probably because I just lost my brother, and so family is constantly on my mind. But I've been thinking about all the little special things that he did. Never thought that, I don't think he had any idea of what they would mean to us all through our lives. Just little things. At Christmas time, Dad was a carpenter. And at another time, I'll tell you the story about him becoming a carpenter. But at Christmas time, we always got something homemade from Dad. And he always made homemade gifts for our cousins and that. So it was a busy time, and the saws were always going, and it was just neat. He never made the same thing for us that he was making for the cousins and that. So we didn't know what we were getting. And because of my parents' divorce, we were only there for the holidays, and that was it. A couple of days before. But I was thinking of some of my favorite things that Dad had made. And one was, we were a little bit older, and say probably the fifth grade. Third grade for me, fifth grade for Jerry, probably. And our Christmas presents were, from Dad, were sleds. And, nope, I'm wrong. They were skis. He made the sleds the other time, but the ones that were. Okay, can we cut this and start again? Okay, you can cut it out. You can do your magic. Okay, very good. Okay, so that year for Christmas, we walked out, and there under the tree were these green skis. And they were really cool. Mine were, of course, short, and Jerry's were longer. And I remember they weren't the kind that we were going to go off and go to the Alps on, that's for sure. But we would ski over little hills that we had made in the yard with piles of snow and that. And then Dad would hook a rope to the back of the trailer hitch on the car, and we would stand in the back and hold on, kind of like water skiing, but we would stand at the back and hold on to these ropes, and Dad would pull us down the big long driveway out to the barn and back, and so it was fun. We never really did anything wonderful with skiing, but it was fun, and it was fun to have those. I still, in my mind, can picture these green skis because they weren't painted, they were stained green, so you could still see the wood in the skis. Now that I think about it, he also made us sleds one year. And we were just a little bit older because I remember taking those sleds when we went up to scout camp in Boise. Don't know why it was a time that it was snowing, but we went up to some event that the church had up in the lower foothills there in Boise. And as we went up that hill, Dad stopped at the bottom and unloaded our sleds. And we hung on two ropes on the back of the bumpers again and pulled us all the way up the hill. Jerry loved it. I was scared to death. And it was probably so very illegal to pull us up that hill on those sleds. But it was fun, and it was neat always knowing how much Dad thought about us and when he spent the time that he did to make those things for us. It started out when the very first thing that I can remember him making was a doll cradle. And he had made those for all of the relatives, and they were down close to the ground, and it was just, I can still picture it in my mind. And that was my very first gift, and then the next one that I can remember was a doll house. And that was fun. And so actually it was made out of kind of a formica, a bluish formica. And it always bothered me. I loved the house, but it bothered me because when he would put the walls up and the roof on, of course the roof was blue, and then on the walls, the one side would be blue and the other side would be the gray back part of it. And it always bothered me that the rooms had quite often a blue side and a gray side. It's probably the beginning of my OCD. So, but anyway, I love those gifts. I still see them around. I don't have mine. I don't have my dollhouse, and I haven't seen it. I'm sure that Fern doesn't still have it. But sometimes when I go to a cousin's house and that, I've seen that doll cradle there. And Fern's job was usually to paint them. Dad would make them and she'd paint them. So, but it was special. We loved our Christmases at their house. So, okay. Let's stop.